This is Cartoon History Channel. This is Saturday Afternoon Cartoon 73. And this is NSFW cartoons that changed the cartoon industry. The first one that I'm going to mention is kind of not on the main list, but part of my honorable mention. Because what followed after this is what followed. This show set the boundary for what followed. The Flintstones from 1960 to 1966. Now, it wasn't exactly an NSFW show, but it has its NSFW moments for back then. Adult humor, advertisement, for instance, one of their main advertisements originally for the first handful of years until it became more of a family sitcom was Winston cigarettes. That was a big NSFW, especially how it evolved into a family cartoon, primetime cartoon, but it started out as an adult centered primetime sitcom that just happened to be animated. See, back then on the live action shows or the cartoon shows, the characters would be in character and they would be smoking or doing whatever it was of the product in the character. So there are these old Winston cigarette commercials back in the 60s before it was banned from television advertising that Barney and Fred and even Wilma from time to time are smoking some Winston cigarettes. But just as a plug for the advertisement, they would close out the show sometimes Flintstones sponsored by what, and they would be lighting up a Winston. That was their main advertise for the show for a good while. But then they got replaced by Alka-Seltzer and Bayer products and Welch's grape juice because they understood the market and evolved it into more family-friendly advertising. This next show wouldn't have been the show it became without the predecessor of the Flintstones show. This show also paid tribute to the predecessor show in one of their opening gags. They have won 37 primetime Emmys. They have been on for 36 seasons, 788 episodes, and have definitely changed the fabric of television animation back in the 90s. Everybody wanted a piece of The Simpsons, and The Simpsons have done everything. They have changed a lot over the years. They used to be the trend, now they follow the trend. But they were a key NSFW thing, at least back in the 80s, especially to the president at the time, that said, I want to bring back society to more like the Waltons and less like the Simpsons. President Bush Sr. And a big part of their NSFW episodes was the Treehouse of War episodes. Now, not that it was ever meant for kids anyway, but those are the key episodes that are very good. And an example that Homer is a loser and a drunk, as well as Barney, but it's classic humor. It's humor that can never be duplicated and led into the creation or establishment of adult humor as well as my next show, which is South Park. What I mean is adult humor to a modern audience. This show was created by Matt Stone and Trey Parker and was originally made out of what it looks like on the screen. It was originally construction paper made in original old-fashioned stop motion, but with construction paper. Now, for the longest time, it's been done with digital animation to make it look like construction paper. It is about four kids: Kyle, Stan, Eric Cartman, known as Cartman, and Kenny, and has since established itself as one of the big forerunners of adult NSFW content. It's a very satirical cartoon that, because they make each episode within a week, they can stay topical to everything from the latest political scandals, the latest, you know, O.J. Simpson type stuff, anything that's topical, they put into the show. And they set the bar for the next show I'm going to talk about, which is Family Guy. But you talk about pushing the limits. South Park, when Viacom bought Comedy Central, they were pushing the limits so much they wanted to get rid of it. But it's a top draw for Comedy Central, so Comedy Central put their foot down and they got rid of Drawn Together. People consider this NSFW show a rip-off of The Simpsons, but it's kind of a rip-off of several other 90s shows as well. It has its South Park related elements and it has its Simpsons related elements. But Seth MacFarlane's Family Guy is a show really of itself. He took elements of other classic animation shows, but it's all its own thing. The show does cutaway gags and has humor that is very NSFW. But not just that, it's very topical like South Park. And their most NSFW episode was the abortion episode, where Lois was going to be a surrogate to a friend. That got banned. It's true that that's the most NSFW episode. One could also argue that the whole show is NSFW. It blurs the lines of what really can be done on Fox or just primetime TV, essentially, period. They have two versions of the show. The Fox version and the real show is what they put on uncensored streaming, depending on the platform, and their DVDs, back when they had DVDs released. Like the Freaking Sweet collection, which is the first 5 or 6 seasons. I think 5. And that's the real show. What you see on the DVD is the real show. And if you've seen the DVDs, you know that that whole show is NSFW. That's it for today's video. Make sure to join me next week for Saturday Afternoon Retro 1374 and tell me in the comments what you want for the next video. But also remember to vote in the comments on your favorite suggestion, because I'm leaving it up to you what the next video is. And if you like this video and you like this channel, remember to like, subscribe, and comment. And tell me what you think about the videos and what you want for the next video. And to hit the bell and make sure to hit the gray bell so you'll know about my videos every Friday and Saturday at 3.